Robert was born on May 8th, 1965, as a Mother's Day was being celebrated by me for the very first time. He grew up and was very smart in school. He skipped 5th grade and went directly to middle school. During his middle school years, he won a basketball shooting contest with the Harlem Globetrotters, and he got to celebrate his win with the team at Madison Square Garden. He was also a great chess player. We moved to Florida when Robert was a teenager. After high school, Robert had a skill for card playing and won several card tournaments in Florida. In his later years, Robert became the father to two beautiful daughters, Deanna and Deja Reavis. He was very proud of how well they each did in their academic achievements. We will all miss Robert, and we will remember his keen sense of humor. If you met him, you became his friend. Love, Mom.
RSK, let it play, boy.
Robert Reavis Jr., you were my firstborn, and I'll miss you very much. I'll miss the talks and texts we had. You had a special way of connecting with people. I am very proud of you and the way you turned your life around. I love you, son, your father. Robert was so highly intelligent, a quick wit that made people attracted to him. Robert was an excellent chess player and an exceptional swimmer. If you needed some life-worthy advice, he was the man. Robert was a loved son, father, brother, uncle, and friend to us all. With much love, rest in peace, Robert. Love, Sandra. Robert, my big brother. Distance and circumstance did not make for frequent communication or visits. However, I was recently reminded that love isn't always measured by the frequency of communication or visits. The beauty of family and love is that we can love someone and appreciate them under different circumstances. So even though we may not have had a frequent and consistent presence, I am so grateful for our special bond by the pure fact of you being my brother. When I think of you, I think of humor, gratitude, intelligence, and crazy, to name a few things. In your presence, you made me smile and cracked me up, and always left me proud and in admiration of your genuine spirit. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for always making me feel loved and protected. Thankful to God for the blessing of you. I love you. Love, Kia. Dear Robert, the news of your passing was extremely shocking and devastating. Even though we may not have the closest relationship, the few times I did get the privilege of being in your company was always a pleasant experience. You had a laid-back, easygoing personality that always made me feel at ease around you, and a smile that could light up a room. I am proud to call you my big brother. I will miss you. Love your little sister, Aniza. I met my cousin Robert at my grandmother's funeral. Growing up, I'd heard about him and knew he lived in Florida, but that was about it. When we met and exchanged information, it was like we'd grown up with each other and were just reuniting. Upon our return to Florida, he started reaching out to me more and hanging out at our house. He always had a smile on his face, plenty of jokes to tell, and a movie, or 10, to share. He hit it off with my husband Nick and was always so genuine. Every year I'd wish him happy birthday on our anniversary as we share the same day with him, May 8th. When I had my first child, he said, "Well, it's about time you started popping out some babies. You ain't getting no younger, cuz y'all been together a minute." That's how Robert said conversations. He made every effort to meet my son when he was just a month old, but was too afraid to hold him. I have few connections with the Reavis family, but his is one of the ones I cherish the most. In recent years, we didn't keep as close contact, but every once in a while, he'd comment on pictures of my kids on Facebook. After I had my twins, he said, "All right now, cuz you turning into a baby breeder, I hope you're done." Always messing with folk, that was typical Robert. My heart breaks that his life was taken away so suddenly. It's a loss that will stay with me for a long time despite our recent distance. His ability to be unapologetic for who he was at all times was inspirational. I will miss his warmth, his teasing ways, his ease, his gold smile. He was one of a kind. Love, Leandra.
Timeline? Oh my god.
So, this one is in memory of my cousin this morning. Full of life, trash talking, and one of my favorite cousins. It was a while since I saw him only because of life, but every time he saw me, there was love, good conversation, and a laugh. This season, a lot of us have lost people we love. So a PSA, love the ones that are still here even more. Call, FaceTime, send a card. Yes, I said send a card. Put your love in it. Put your differences aside, because we all need each other right now. I love you all. Rest in heaven, big cuz.
Rob and I met when I was about 18. I just want to say you're going to be great in this. I thank you because together we produced a wonderful daughter. Just sad and heartbroken. We hadn't spoken in years, but always have love for you because of the daughter that we created together, and into the family, peace that surpasses all understanding. God will give to us all. We love you, Rob.
Dear Dad, I'm sad that you're gone because I took for granted the time I had left with you. I thought I would always be able to see you at our family functions or just when I stopped by Ma's. You're gone. I'm still in shock hearing those words. Your dad is gone. My life has never been traditional by any means, but I never felt a lack of love. Looking back at all of our pictures and memories affirms this for me even more. You loved me and took care of me the best way you knew how. I realized you were always there for me on my most important days in my life, and that is what will always stick with me. You were always very opinionated, witty, smart, and extraordinary card player. I wish that we were closer while you were here, but your passing has brought me closer than ever to you and our Reavis side. It brings me joy to see all of the blessings and growth that are transpiring due to your passing. 55 was way too soon for you to go, but I know you will always be watching over Deja and I. I love you, Dad, and I know you're up in heaven beating someone at cards. Love, Dee Dee. Pop was always a fun person. I remember when I was a little kid, we used to go to the big McDonald's and play games and sit down and talk about things in the future. When I was always at Grandma's, I would always pop in his room and say hello and help him with things. I've always had a close relationship with him. He was a good listener and a person to have fun with. I'm sad to see him go, but at least he's in a better place and he's watching over us. I love you, Pop. Love, Janelle. Rob, I love you so much, and I'm gonna miss you so years together, my fondest memory of us is when we decided to go on a picnic. It was a beautiful sunny day, and we packed a cooler full of subs, drinks, and snacks. We had a blanket as well as our boombox. We got to the park, laid out our blanket, and enjoyed the sun, the music, and each other. All of a sudden, the sky got dark and it began to sprinkle. We decided to wait it out and moved to a gazebo area until the rain stopped. Well, the rain didn't stop. The drops came down harder and the wind blew harder, but we didn't want to leave. So we stood on top of the table under the gazebo, and you placed the blanket over us. And we stayed and laughed and held each other until the rain stopped. We were drenched and we enjoyed every minute of it. That was just one of our many special moments when I was with you. I always felt my most comfortable and most protected. You will always have a special place in my heart. I love